Go to New York City. Rowaida Abdelaziz joins us from there. Rowaida's a journalist at Huffington Post covering Islamophobia and Muslim civil rights. Rowaida, we'll come to what's happening in the United States in a moment, but let's look at the international perspective there and reflecting on the Imam's words. What are your thoughts right now?
The Imam really did not hold back in his khutbah, which I think is particularly powerful when he was addressing white supremacy and Islamophobia. And like many people have mentioned, Islamophobia is not a problem just in New Zealand. You know, the attacks really brought into harsh light the rising amount of anti-Muslim rhetoric globally. We've seen it in New Zealand, we've seen it in the US, we've seen it in various parts of Europe. And the scary situation about this is how normalized it's become, how everyday instances of discrimination and bias and hatred and physical assaults are quite normal. And so I think what this attack has really done was shock the Muslim community all over the world, I know for sure, at least in the United States, and really brought into light that this violence, like the Imam said, did not happen overnight. It was perpetuated, it was stemmed, it was groomed for many years now.
Okay, so you're speaking to us from New York, Donald Trump's home city. The President of the United States is accused of defending white supremacists, of when he addresses events such as what happened on Friday in Christchurch, calling them events. When something like that is perpetrated by a non-white person, he's very quick to call it terrorism. That sort of terminology, how important is it, and how conscious is the President of the United States about what he's saying?
You really nailed it there. The President of the United States did come out with a tweet at first of solidarity, standing with the people of New Zealand, but then less than 24 hours later, when he was questioned if he thought white supremacy or white nationalists was a growing danger, he said no. And this, unfortunately, has not shocked many of the minority communities here in the U.S., whether they're Muslim or non. We've seen hatred from Donald Trump and his administration from the early days of his campaign, when he came out and he said, Islam hates us. And then once he did become president, then passing the Muslim ban, right, or the travel ban. And so this rhetoric, unfortunately, we've seen has only fostered a huge rise in hate crimes in the U.S. We've seen hate crimes skyrocket against the Muslim community. They say that today hate crimes against the Muslim American community has surpassed 2001 levels. Again, 2001, and we also saw a severe backlash against everyday Muslim Americans. And so the president has not helped in terms of standing with the Muslim American community, whether it's in New Zealand or in the U.S. In fact, many white supremacists, including this particular shooter, have mentioned the president by name. So there's a connection here that many people are implicitly understanding that by calling folks who are in Charlottesville, as some of your viewers may know, where white supremacists came out in large numbers, and calling them very fine people, to saying that Islam hates us and calling for policies like the Muslim ban, etc., it sends a very clear message to Muslim Americans.
I think we're losing the quality on the connection there, Rowaida. So we're going to leave it there. Rowaida Abdelaziz joining us from New York City, and apologies just for the breakup at the end there of that interview. If you can hear me, Rowaida, thank you very much indeed for joining us on TRT World.